Hi, this is Reena here and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to do an unboxing of an advent calendar game, Wonderland, and this is crafted, designed as well as handmade by the designer Jess. So let's see what we have in this, but before that I would just like to quickly show you what is this game about. So if you have a look at the screen, you'll see that this particular game is an advent calendar, so there are 24 puzzles that have to be solved. Also, it's not necessary that they have to be solved like one puzzle per day. If you want to just do it in one sitting, you can do that as well. The storyline is based on an amusement park which is targeted towards kids. So if you have a child or a group of kids who are like 9 years or older, then definitely this is a very good game for them to play. I haven't played this myself, so I really can't say anything at the moment on how the games are going to be. But looking at the kind of games that have been offered by this designer, especially on her website, like you can check out the link in the description as well. I'm sure that the kids are going to have a good time. And a very tiny tip from my side, because I've seen when kids play game, they have little lesser levels of patience. So if they're not able to solve a puzzle, they tend to get a little frustrated. So my advice would be for an adult to be with the kids and try to guide them if they get stuck. Let them come up with the game mechanics, but if you're not able to solve, then be a guide to them, tell them how to go about it, and then let them solve and then proceed to the next puzzle. So let's see what's inside this box. Okay, so this is what I received, and it's mentioned handmade with love. So definitely that's a great thing. Oh, so it also says, okay, it's given me the website, so I can also purchase from Etsy, and here it's mentioned, caution, small parts not for use under the age of 3. Okay, so we have to be careful about that, but definitely this is targeted towards kids, so they can have a great time. So let's open and let's see what we have in this. So I guess I can open it from here. Alright, so oh, so this says handmade game made just for you, and also about some latest upcoming game. Great. And we have a coupon, so I'm going to put this coupon code in the video description, so you all can use it for your next purchases and get a 10% off. What else do we have? Sorry, I think this. Okay, so I don't know if this was visible, but okay. So it's an advent calendar, and if you played advent calendar before, you know that there are there are 24 puzzles, and wow. So what is this? This is like a map. So I'm going to just reveal this. I'll just keep this on this side. So we have an instruction sheet here. Let me check this out. Oh, there's code. So I'm just going to keep my fingers on the code because I don't know if you're supposed to scan it right away. So it says instructions and objectives, what do you need, have to play, okay, and solution and hints, which you can refer to the QR code. Great. And we can open day 1 to start as well. So I'm going to open 2 envelopes here in this video, just to give a background about what kind of contents go in this and if that is pretty interesting for your age group. Let's see what we have here. Oh, so we have to connect the dots probably, and we have a nice map here which is of an amusement park. So I think this will be important to us while we solve the puzzles, and although I'll not be solving the puzzles on screen, but definitely it's going to be something which is going to add value. We have a lot of envelopes, 24 to be precise, and we have different images here. So we have some tickets here, we have a path here, we have a lot of things, an ice cream cone. So I'm just going to check this out this way. So we have nice. And did you notice one thing? This is all handmade. So these printouts are probably placed in these envelopes, and this is actually stuck. So it's like, I mean, it just gives a very good feel, right, when you play such games. Nice. So I'm probably just going to open 2 envelopes to see. I'm just going to randomly see which I would like to open. So probably day 14 and day 1. we can probably just open that, and I'm just going to keep this aside. Great. So let's see what we have here. There's nothing here, and oh, lovely. So did you notice this? There are stickers here. Wow. So I'm sure the kids are going to love this. I'm just going to place this here, and we have some instructions which says page 1 of 2, and okay, so this is the puzzle. So I guess we have to probably place these stickers here somehow, and that's how the puzzle will get solved. And I don't know what kind of answer we'll get. Maybe it was mentioned in the instruction sheet, but once we get the answer, then probably we have to move to the second envelope. But quite interesting. I mean, you can either solve it like one envelope per day or probably in multiple sittings. Let's check day 14. What do we have here? Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, so we have instructions here as well, and oh, so we have the dot to dots here as well. So I mean, definitely probably something to do probably with this map, which also had some dot to dots behind it. So I don't know if that's link or not, but and then we have a postcard here. Great. So I think that's pretty interesting, and I'm sure it's going to be exciting for the child as well. Before we proceed with the review, I just want to also show that these are the different games that are being offered by the designer, and they're not just targeted at kids but also at adults and teenagers. So don't forget to check out the link in the description and stay tuned for the review. Welcome back. So we are on the review section of the game. And before I start, I wanted to actually share a couple of my thoughts. So this particular brand, Mystery Interactive, the designer, Jess, and the different games that have been designed, I was never aware about it. So when I actually received the game, I had like no expectations, I was quite neutral. But when I looked at the content, when I looked at the puzzles, when I looked at the storyline, I was actually questioning myself that why did I never find this shop on my own? Why did I ever check on Etsy, or why did I look at the website? So unfortunately, there are a lot of these amazing games and designers who are not able to present their games or expose their games on a platform where the actual targeted buyers can go and purchase. So I thought this is the right way to provide an absolute transparent review for this game, for which I went through all the content as well, so that if anybody wants to purchase them for their own kids, or to purchase it for some kids as a gift, then I think they can definitely take a decision based on the review feedback. So stay tuned and let's continue. Alright, so let's start with the review notes. So as you can see in the positives, the first one is shipping. So the shipping time generally, for me at least, was between 10 to 12 days. So I would say 2 weeks is the approximate timeline at an average. Secondly, the box that it was shipped in, it was a pretty good package because there was nothing broken, and there is no opportunity also for anything to be broken or damaged. So I think that was a good point for the shipping perspective. Secondly, from a quality perspective, so these games are actually handmade and they are assembled by the designer. So they actually put the content in the envelope, they seal it themselves, and then they ship. So considering all these aspects, I think the quality was pretty good for the game. I mean, I really liked it. Also, if you look at the story, it was pretty simple, easy, and a child can easily read it and understand it. I think that's pretty important because there were no complicated statements or complex words, and I don't think the child would need help from an adult to read out the story. So I think that was good, and especially because it was also aligned to the theme, that was amusement park. Talking about the puzzles, now the puzzles were all different puzzles in different envelopes, so there was no duplicate puzzles, which is a good thing. I won't say that I've never seen these puzzles outside this game. There are a couple of puzzles which I have seen in other games as well. However, there were certain games which were quite unique to this particular game. So I think it was a balance from that angle. Also, the difficulty level I would say would be between easy to medium, and there are hints and solutions also available. So if the child is stuck, then definitely there is help available. Having said that, when you look at the envelopes, so the kind of content that went into that was definitely the storyline and the puzzle, but it also included certain puzzle pieces for future puzzles or envelopes. So I think the first task for the child is to identify what is the exact content to solve the current puzzle, and whether you have to refer to old envelopes or whether you have to use all the contents of the current envelope, or also keep certain content of the current envelope aside for future games. So I think that was like an additional layer of gameplay for the child. And finally, the hints and solutions. So the specific mention of that is because they were pretty well drafted, and you could actually see the image of the solution, because many times I've seen hints and solutions which are just text based, but when you look at a solution with an image, you get a clear picture on what the answer is. So I like, because it was well drafted. And also some of the solutions I saw which I did not expected is there were some educational facts also provided. So I'll give an example. So there was a puzzle involving some animals, and when I looked at the solution, I saw that there were some facts about animals that were presented, which was something that I have not seen in other games. So that's what it is with the positives. So let's move to the improvements. So the first point in the improvements is refill kits, and this is something I would definitely advise the designers to include, not just in this game but in a lot of games, I believe, because there's a lot of material that gets destructed, and if you want to like play it again, or even for example in this game there was one envelope which basically had a sheet of paper that needed to be folded. Now as a child you can definitely make mistakes during the gameplay, or if there are two children playing, they may require their own sheet of paper. So I would advise if there could be a refill kit, at least for these kind of envelopes where the content has to be played or folded or destructed, or it can also be available as a PDF online which can be downloaded and then printed at home. So definitely refill kits is something I would advise. Secondly, answer recording sheet. So the point is the game does not need an answer recording sheet, because you don't have to refer to the old answers at any point. But it's always nice to have something where, rather than just writing an answer on a paper or, probably on the puzzle paper, it's nice to maintain it in a separate sheet, so you can just look at it and see, oh, this is what I experienced, during the gameplay. So that would be another suggestion from my side. Also, the reset instructions, I know this is not really a replayable game, but you can make it replayable, and I'll just mention in a couple of minutes how we can do that. Having said that, I really feel that there should have been some reset instructions, because the puzzle pieces from different envelopes are used for different games, across the different envelopes. So at the end of the game, you are like, okay, where was what, so you want to just keep it in the right envelope while packing it. So I just think a reset instructions would be a little better. Let's move to the overall verdict. The overall verdict I think is pretty clear on the screen. So will your child enjoy the experience? Definitely yes. I would advise around 1 to 2 kids at the same time. I mean, if it would be more than that, then it would probably be like a little difficult in sharing the material. Also, I think from age perspective, definitely 8 to 9 years children can start playing this, and probably up to around 12 years I would suggest. But again, it depends on your child and also the kind of experience it is. Replayable, I would say yes, it can be done in a replayable manner. So just try not to scribbling on the puzzle pages, or you can use a pencil and an eraser. There are places where you need to cut things out, but I think you can cut it and place it back in the envelope, as cutouts. It's just like you don't have to cut it the next time. So you can make it replayable or pass it on to somebody else. Having said that, there are certain things that need to be folded. So if you are folding something, then probably you will see creases, for the next player. So that is another aspect. There are one or two places where I guess you have to use glue. I don't remember much, but what I can say is it's not mandatory to use the glue. I mean, if you can visualize the puzzle and try to see how to solve it, I think it is pretty much doable. Having said that, the next point is regarding having a host or guide. So definitely I think you need somebody to be with the child, because there are certain games where the child might get stuck, especially in the game mechanics. And I would advise that don't hand over the copy or the PDF of hints and solution to the child. Let them try it themselves and you guide them if they are stuck looking at the hints and solution. The reason being that the child should not be exposed to screen time. So having said that, like I mentioned, the hints and solutions also give some fun facts. So after each and every puzzle that the child solves, I would advise you to explain to the kid basically the solution and any additional facts that have been given, and also see if the answer is correct by looking at the PDFs. Finally, we also have, yeah, you need pencil, eraser, scissors and glue for that, and it's definitely value for money and I would definitely recommend it. In fact, like I said, I wasn't aware about this particular brand and these games, but now that I am, and I experienced it looking at the puzzles and content, I would definitely go and purchase another set if I want to gift it to some children, or I want to play it with the kids. So I think you would definitely like it too. So just have a look at the video description, check out the shop, check out the games, and there's a discount code as well. So I hope you had a good time watching this video, and stay tuned for similar games in the future as well as unboxing and review. Thank you so much for watching.